I still get goosebumps thinking about it now. There's a moment, and if you've ever been completely overwhelmed, you'll know this moment well, where every instinct is screaming at you to do something. To run, to fight, to fix it, to control it. Just do something. I had that moment standing in the Bird of Prey arena at Healesville Sanctuary in the middle of summer, in shorts. Yes, of course, in shorts. And an eagle with a 2.5 metre wingspan had just latched onto my bare calf with talons that could crush bone. What I did next, or more accurately what I didn't do, is what I come back to every single time I'm working with someone who's exhausted, overwhelmed, or burnt out. Because it turns out that the instinct most of us trust the most, the one that says push harder, try more, do something, is very often the exact thing that's making it worse. If you're here, I'm going to take a guess at something. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined, you've probably tried more things than most people. The challenges, the early mornings, the cutting things out. You're the person that starts every Monday with the right intention. And by Wednesday, something slipped. Again. And the exhausting part's not the slipping. It's that you can't figure out why. You're doing everything you can possibly think of, and your body's still telling you it's done. The brain fog. The weight that wasn't there 5 years ago. Waking up tired before the day's even started. That feeling like you've lost the version of yourself that can just get things done. I know that feeling, and I want to tell you something about it. And I'm going to use a story about an eagle. I was about a year into my role as a zookeeper at Healesville Sanctuary. Dingoes, koalas, kangaroos. I was completely in love with the work. I thought I could do it forever. And one day, I'm walking the grounds as I pass the Birds of Prey arena. The raptor keeper, Richard, is in there with Gabby, his wedge-tailed eagle. And if you grew up in Melbourne, you'd know them. They've done a TV commercial together that I'd watched as a kid thousands of times. And seeing them work in person felt like watching something private and sacred. An old married couple who'd long since stopped needing words to understand each other. Richard spotted me watching and he waved me in. My heart started hammering. I was a junior keeper. This felt like territory I had no business in being in. But I wasn't going to pass up the chance. So I walked in, nervous as hell. He asked me a few questions about eagles and about falconry and about animal training. My answers were honest. I didn't know anything. He nodded, and then, without much ceremony, he handed me his glove and his food pouch, old leather, the kind that carries decades of history in its creases. "Call her over," he said. Well, Gabby was enormous. 2.5 metre wingspan, nearly 1 metre tall, talons up because I was new and she wasn't sure about me. I was properly, genuinely scared. But I trusted that Richard trusted me, and that was enough to keep my feet planted. I had absolutely no idea how to call an eagle. Gabby knew that immediately. And being the smart, dominant creature she was, she decided to capitalise on it. She didn't fly, she walked. If you've never seen an eagle walk, you're missing out. The feathers on their legs make them look like they're wearing pants. They strut like a cowboy. Bow-legged, big chest, all authority. Gabby marched straight toward me like she owned the place. Which, to be fair, she kind of did. It was summer. I almost never wear long pants. And of course, I was in shorts. She found my weakest spot immediately and latched on to my bare calf with her talons. I knew wedge-tailed eagles had extraordinary grip. I didn't know then just how extraordinary. What I knew in that moment was that I couldn't outrun her. I couldn't overpower her. Neither of these options existed. So I did the only thing left. I went still. Not frozen. Still, calm, on the outside, breathing. I relaxed into it. And even though every instinct I had was screaming at me to do something, I stayed present and I waited. And the strangest thing happened. She let go. She looked back at Richard and then back at me, somewhat confused, like I hadn't played this the way that she'd expected. And then she walked back over to him. Richard spent the next little while teaching me properly how to position the glove, how to call her, and before long I had a 5-kilogram bird of prey sitting on my left arm, eating from my glove, tilting her head left and right, trying to work out who this new person was. She tested me a few more times after that, demanding more food, as they do, tightening her grip, moving toward my face to show me she was in charge, and each time I found something, an instinct, a response that worked. Reading her, responding, but not reacting. When Richard had seen enough, he took Gabby back, told me he had plenty more work to do, and then, as he turned to go, he said something, and I had to ask him to repeat it. I hate it when that happens, he said. I hate it when I meet someone who's going to be better than me. I still get goosebumps thinking about it now. I drove home that day feeling like all my dreams had come true. Not long after that, Richard invited me to join the bird of prey department. For the next few years, I ate, drank, breathed, and lived birds of prey. Eagles, falcons, eventually seals and elephants. Years of working one-on-one with complex, emotionally intelligent animals, many with very different histories and difficult histories, slowly teaching me everything that mattered about trust and behaviour change. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. The moment that Gabby grabbed my calf and I chose to go still instead of panic, that was the moment that my coaching career began. I just didn't have a name for it then. Because here's what I see in people now. The ones who are exhausted, who've tried everything, who start every Monday with the intention and feel like failures by Wednesday. They're doing the Gabby thing. Every time they feel overwhelmed, every time the gap between who they are and who they want to be feels too big, they try to force it. Push harder. Find a bigger challenge. A stricter program. More willpower. And Gabby just tightens her grip. What actually works, what has always worked with animals and with people, is the opposite of force. You cannot rush trust. You cannot demand it or fake it. You earn it. Slowly, by showing up consistently, reading what's actually in front of you, and staying calm when the pressure comes. When Gabby let go of my leg and walked away, she wasn't being kind, she was responding to information. She sensed stillness under pressure, a willingness to be present without trying to control the outcome. And she made a decision based on that. The people I'd work with do the same thing. Not consciously, but they're reading me constantly, deciding whether I'm someone they can trust with the real stuff, the fears they haven't said out loud, the habits that they're ashamed of, the exhaustion that they've been carrying for years. What I've learned from the animals, from the years of hard work from my own road, is that the only thing that works is the same thing that's always been. Show up, stay still, trust the process, and don't flinch when it gets hard. So I'm Tully. I'm a health coach based in Melbourne. Before I worked with people, I spent 15 years as a zookeeper, working with everything from eagles to elephants. And those years taught me more about behaviour change and trust and what it actually takes a person to transform than any textbook ever has. So if this is resonating for you, connect with me in one of the links in the platforms below, or even just go ahead and book a free 30-minute call from someone who's lived it. You can tell me your story and I'll give you an honest assessment of what I think you can do to make the changes that you want. And subscribe. There's a lot more where that came from. including a story about a 5-ton bull elephant that makes this one look calm. I'll see you in the next video.